Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to episode 303 of the Overseas Connection, the official podcast of your G4TE.com community. That is Gaming for the Elderly. And today is January 16th, 2015. And we are live on Twitch. So if you are listening to this, you are listening to it live. If you are not listening to it live, well, you're listening to it recorded. How does that work out? Anyway, I'm just one of your hosts, Greg DeLacy, gamertag Murphy's Law. With us this week, an interesting group of individuals. I'll just characterize it that way. Starting first and foremost, Miss Nicole Radowski.
Hello, everybody. How are y'all tonight?
We all are doing fantastic.
We all?
We all.
All right.
How are you?
Good. My headache's gone. We have two cool other hosts, and you and me, so we're good.
All right. You have high hopes, I think, for the show.
No, stupid me.
Yeah, I know. My expectations have been going down since we started trying to record. Also, returning to the show, longtime podcaster / DJ extraordinaire, Richard Primrose.
You're all right. How you doing?
I'm
Long time no see.
No kidding. No kidding. Very long time no see. How have you been?
All right, man. Just looking forward to kicking it with the crew again.
Kicking it with the crew. I can only hope this podcast. In fact, I almost think it's been like a full year since you were on the show. Because I think you did the last podcast where we did our predictions, because this is a predictions podcast.
No, Greg. No. It was only about 4 months ago. But anyway, that's all right. You can forget me that easily. But I'll always come back.
It feels like years. It feels like eons, Rich. No, good to have you back, Rich. I'm super excited to have you on. And also very much looking forward to your predictions, because if they're anything like the last set, it is going to be, well, just funny. Let's just put it that way.
We'll see.
Hey, making his podcast debut, we have Chris Henwood. Everybody knows him as the Henwood in the old forums. Chris runs all of our racing league stuff. He hosts the track league stuff. You are the racing guru. In fact, most people probably would recognize you from behind because they're always behind you in the races. Chris, how are you?
Not bad, buddy. You?
I'm doing fantastic.
Sorry. I just don't want to know if I want to see Chris's behind.
It's average.
So is Oda Parsnip still up there in the Oda pole positions and that nowadays, or what?
Oh no, he's
Is he lightweight now?
Loitering, hitting some people a lot.
Greg, me and you have been nowhere.
Yeah, no, exactly. I
heard Mark Hannick saying that he's at the back normally, and I was like thinking, Mark Hannick used to be good.
I know. As soon as he told me that, he was like at the end of all the races. I'm like, yeah, not for me. I will not bring any value to the races. But no, I've actually heard quite good things about all of the races you put on, Chris. So welcome to the show, and thanks for making all the effort.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Well, we will be gentle with you, Chris. We know this is your first time. You're a newbie. You're just getting your cherry popped. So
that's true.
Yeah. So it can be scary at times. We know that. But just relax, taking a deep breath.
Yeah, relax. Feel free to drop off to sleep any time, because then it'll take the mantle away from me.
Is there a PC chat coming up?
I could do it.
I know. He was snoring in the chat last time because of that. No offense, Richard Webster.
Hey, some individuals out there actually enjoyed that PC chat. I have proof of it in my messages. Yes. All right. Well, without further ado, let's kick this thing off. We are a podcast about video games and our community. And so with that, we had a new member that we want to give a shout out to. Foxcroft19 just joined up into the forums, and so I thought I'd read off the post he threw out there as his intro to the Gate community. It was, "Hey all, I had a PS4 and got it on release day. But it died just after a year's warranty, so I ordered my Xbox, which arrived today. I live in England and game around work. I have a new job starting January 19th and should have 3 days off a week, so lots of gaming. I'm getting AC Black Flag, AC Unity, Battlefield 4, Forza 5, and my Xbox console will definitely be grabbing Dying Light, Battlefield Hardline, and Halo 5. So it sounds like he kind of covers almost every kind of game. Well, welcome to the community, Foxcroft. And, well, I guess speaking of playing games, let's talk about games. In fact, let's talk about Halo Beta, the Halo 5 Beta. I think I'm the only one playing it out of this group, which kind of saddens me.
I'm interested. How quick does it play, Greg? Is it speeded up a lot, or what?
It is fast. It is definitely faster than I'm certainly used to. You know, I played the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and that also is a very fast game. But one of the differences with COD this year is the jetpacks, or you know, the boost jumps, if you will. They kind of just seem like they were for reaching higher levels, whereas in Halo 5 you can literally use them for like changing your direction on the fly. So you can, you know, kind of boost forward, boost sideways, boost backwards, and they'll help you get out of tight spots when you're in firefights. Not that I would know, because my kill death ratio is definitely within the negative, which is if you ask Mike Chin, he'll tell you I was just utter garbage playing the beta the other day. But it's been fun. They have different modes. Breakout is probably my standout, because I like the feel of it. It's round based as opposed to being you know, your standard kind of team deathmatch Slayer match. Instead, it's 5, or the best out of the 5 rounds. So you have to win by 2, and it's basically, you know, 4v4, last man standing. That team wins the round, and then you immediately roll into another match, and it kicks it off. And there's smaller, more intimate maps, so they're not huge, kind of more expansive maps. So there's a lot of close quarter combat, and it's quick because you don't have your health and shields. You just have health. So they eliminate out kind of one of those barriers. So you're not bullet sponges. You die pretty quick. But it's all about team tactics, and you know, you can't really lone wolf it. And once if it's 1-on-2, more than likely, if you're the one, you're dead. You know, there's been a few times where I've seen people come out of that, you know, on top, but for the most part, it rewards team play, which I like. So, yeah, and the balance of the guns, to me, there's a few tweaks that are going to happen. You know, again, it's a beta, so you know, you take the good with the bad, and there's definitely some tweaking that needs to be done. But overall, I'm really impressed with what I've seen from Halo 5 so far. So,
what you know, with the beta, what sort of functionality do you get with? Do you get all of access to like all of the camera stuff and recording and all that sort of thing, or is that not active yet?
So there's not the camera recording stuff per se, although you can game DVR it through the Xbox One. But one of the interesting things they do have is you can jump into any of your friends. If they're playing a match, you can actually find them within like the friends that are live on Halo 5, and you can go in and watch them playing. So it's like you'll be able to jump into their game and actually watch them playing it live. And so I found that pretty interesting. It'll be interesting to see how much they promote that. I think it's going to be a really good way for people to kind of learn a little bit, especially if you have some friends that are really good players. You can start to learn some of the tactics that they use within game, and not feel the pressure of being within the match trying to learn it. But outside
general networking as well, then, is that good? You know, like for actually jumping into a game and joining and stuff like that, or is it just all playlist based and you've got to be there in the lobby to start off, or?
Yeah, so it does the kind of the playlist type scenario before, where it's, you know, it finds the match and pulls the players in, and then it starts it off from the get-go. I think once or twice I've entered into matches that were ongoing because players had maybe quit out. But overall, it seems like it starts and stops matches with, you know, the initial player base. So you load up the lobby and then it starts up. It definitely has had some hitches and some things that it needs to work on in terms of the player lobbies and getting into matches. You know, again, it's a beta and it's a year away, so I'm not overly worried about that. It seems to be functioning, and for what it's worth, functioning better than the Master Chief Collection was when it came out.
And are they sticking to like the template of the the older like Team Slayer 4-on-4? Then you've got big team battles that are a lot bigger, 12-on-12 on it or whatever. Is it the same sort of thing?
Yeah. So far in the beta, they have Slayer, they have Breakout, and then they have Stronghold. Those are the 3 game types that they've released out. And I think there's been about 7 different maps, or maybe 6 different maps. Basically, they've been assigning kind of 2 to each game type mode. And so, yeah, they have those standard game types, but that's all that's in the beta. So they don't really have anything beyond that. And then they have a few exotic weapons, like there's a rocket launcher, there was sniper rifle. I think there's been the shotgun. There's been the Hydra, which is kind of like I'll call it more like a grenade launcher that you'd find in a like a Battlefield 4 or something. But it's kind of more rocket based. And then I cannot for life of me remember the name of the Forerunner light rifle, I believe is what it's called. It's in the match as well from Halo 4. So those have been
the alien type single shot sniper jobber.
It was more like the Covenant carbine, which so you could fire off multiple rounds. Yeah, it's more like that.
Okay.
And the animations for it are pretty awesome. In terms of when you go into the scope mode. And that's actually probably the other big change. And again, this may be a lot of stuff that I've covered before, but every weapon in the Halo 5 period has an aim down sights mode. In previous Halo games, only a few weapons had the ability to aim down sight, and then everything else would, if you clicked in to zoom in on aim down sights, it was basically just zooming in on like binoculars. Here, every weapon has its own distinct aim down the sights look. And a lot of people were worried that it was going to unbalance the game, but I can tell you, with the exception of when you're firing at distance, and that's, and you're in little, you have maybe the advantage of seeing somebody at distance and you go into aim down sights, that's really the only time it's going to be useful. Once you get hit, you're taken right out of your sight mode, so it throws you off. And so I found myself more times than not using aim down sights at all. I was just firing from the hip like traditional Halo. So I think the big hubbub about that is probably a little overblown. I really just don't see it being a big issue.
There seems to be like a massive dovetailing of multiplayer games at the minute with Titanfall and Call of Duty as well to the same sort of degree. How are they handling maps and verticality and stuff? Because it seems like a lot of other games that are multiplayer have gone that way, where there's a lot more verticality in the map and you can move around and have a lot more agility in getting around and stuff. I know that Halo's always had the movement, so you could almost like double jump all the time and right. Bound around. But are the maps playing that out as well, so that you've got more access to higher ground and stuff?
They do. It's not been really emphasized within the beta, but you can tell there is that emphasis on verticality with the ability not only to have the the booster rockets, but also new to Halo this year is the ability to clamber, if you will. So as you get to a ledge, in previous Halos, you kind of had to do your hopping, and eventually you might be able to hop up onto the ledge, but you had to do it within the mechanic of the hop. Whereas in Halo 5 now, if you get to a ledge that's just slightly above, eye level type thing, and you're hopping over towards it, and you're getting to the ledge, you just tap down, on your jump button, and it'll actually, you'll do a clamber move and climb up on it. So
okay,
it is definitely, at least planting the seed for getting to higher ground is going to be more accessible to more players. Before it was kind of one of those things where, it was secret pathways, if you will, on how to get to that high spot. Now, I think a lot of those spots are going to be able to be accessed by just everyday players.
I'm liking that.
Yeah, and then the other cool thing, and I'll leave it at this because I certainly have talked far more than I thought I would about the Halo 5 beta, is that They have in-game...
That's because I'm grilling, Greg.
I know, Rich. I know, but I like it. I'm okay with it. They have in-game chatter, which they haven't had in the past. I mean, you always have had the announcer, double kill, that kind of thing. But now you have your teammates, the characters themselves have voices in the multiplayer, and they start calling out things. So you'll hear, teammates saying, blue team spotted and they'll call out certain areas of the maps. So blue team spotted at red team base, or red team, red team down, something to that effect. Letting you know where a firefight's happening. They also will call out when, the super weapons, if you will, like the sniper rifle or the rocket launcher. You'll get a warning, kind of like from the announcer, rocket launcher in 10 seconds. And so that at the spawn point for where the rocket launcher is, it's 10 seconds away, and so you can kind of gravitate towards that. And I like that little addition. It's a subtle one, but it really kind of helps out. You again no longer have to be that map guru and know the timing of all the weapons and know when, where they all spawn. Now they're showing up for everybody, and everybody's getting an even shot at getting to them. So, anyway, that's it. Halo 5 beta. It's still going on. It goes on through this weekend, I believe, and then it is done. Let's see. Lastly, a little bit of Sunset Overdrive, and I just touched a little bit on the Evolve beta. And I didn't get a chance to really dive into it, so I don't have too much to add in terms of gameplay mechanics and how it's playing. But one thing I'm very happy to report about is that they actually have a tutorial. This was something that was missing from the previous beta when Evolve launched out. And so, you kind of got into Evolve and you were just like, okay, what do I do? You were live, you were just right into a match, and you had a little bit of an idea, but now they actually walk you through kind of like an offline tutorial, and it started with the monster, which was kind of nice, and it just walked you through all of the mechanics of the monster. And so I think that's something that was definitely needed. I didn't feel like I was just being thrown to the fire on this one. So, if you have access to it, I highly recommend jumping into the Evolve beta and checking it out. All right, that is me. I've rambled on enough. I need to hear about my singing monsters. Nicole.
Yes, sir.
Yes, talk to me.
No. Yeah, no. It's a kid game.
All right. Okay.
It's a little kid game. I play it on my mobile phone because I can play it with my kids.
Yeah. I saw it on your list. I had to make you talk about it.
Well, because honestly and sadly, I haven't played diddly squat. I had to change that because that's not what I was going to say.
Now, in fairness, you've had a lot going on this past week, so we
yes.
can a lot of personal life stuff going on. We'll just leave it at that. I won't dive into it, but so you definitely get an excuse. Let's see if Mr. Henwood, anything outside of racing, and we'll let you talk about racing, but I'm just kind of curious.
I've played a bit of COD.
Okay, all right.
That's what I said about that. I'm not very good at that one. KD's now up to 0.65, which is...
Is it rising or falling? That's probably the better question. Okay.
It's rising at the dramatic rate of 0.01 every couple hundred years, which is a...
Chris, don't look at the stats. Don't ever look at the stats.
I never used to. The people I'm playing with sort of quite like their stats, so I made the mistake of looking at it, and now I'm trying to kill things like a mad thing. Not really working out too well, but I'm doing a bit of FIFA as well, and everything else is purely racing. Everything.
Now, racing-wise, is it Forza Horizons 2? Is it some other racing game? What is the racing game preference?
At the moment, racing games that I'm playing, the F1 series, the one that Codemasters did. I'm doing Forza 5 and Horizon. I've just started doing MotoGP 14. What else am I doing at the moment? MXGP.
Is it safe to say you really like racing games?
Yeah, it's quite a safe bet that I'm on a racing game. And if I'm not racing, I'm on Forza painting cars instead. So I'm pretty much doing racing or racing orientated stuff 24/7 at the minute.
Now,
You know what? That's quite refreshing because most podcasts you listen to, they get dismissed so much. Racing games do. So having somebody that actually likes them and talks about them in a proper way, which I mean, to be fair, we're good on here because over the years we have talked about them a lot. But there's a lot of podcasts and stuff that just dismiss them. So and it's stuff like the sports games as well, where they just brush over them. You know, all the big ones like Joystick and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it does my head in. Pet hate. Sorry.
I'm a racer through and through. At the end of the day, I like racing. I like watching it. I used to do a bit of it before I became disabled, and I'm just doing it on games instead. And I'm trying to sort of make it an environment that anyone can get into and enjoy it. Obviously, we've got different sort of ability on track and on G4T as well, so it's a case of catering for it. The faster guys got their race going on like a pro category, and the other guys are until they get up to speed and stuff, and they jump in with the pro guys and stuff. But everyone can race with people they can race with on track at the same time. It's normally a good bit of banter going.
So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on people driving around the track the wrong way? Is that frowned upon?
I have OCD, so it ain't my favourite thing ever. Put it that way. But then having fun, they can go on something else like Ridge Racer, couldn't they?
Yeah, it never failed, Chris. We would get an oval track race going, and that was inevitably where it would happen. It was the oval track races will always end in a crash derby, and it's a survival thing because you'll get to those last few laps, and numerous people are already out of the race. Their cars are completely destroyed. They can barely move, and suddenly it becomes a game of trying to hit them with your car at like 5 miles an hour in reverse because that's the only gear you have left. And of course, as the people still on the track going, and I was never one of them, it was your job to just avoid them at all costs. So
we do a lot of that after. We normally do the league race, and that's pretty sort of straightforward racing. But afterwards, we do a lot of stuff just messing around, just literally doing that, to be honest. It's quite a lot of fun sometimes. You sort of try to get a clean lap or something, or suddenly you see a car tear assing towards you. That's pretty alarming, but funny as well.
Chris, you earlier said you'd never heard of me anyway, but eons ago when I used to do this podcast with Greg DeLacy, my biggest faux pas when I was sat talking was we was talking about racing, and I'd always thought that the Nürburgring was called the Nuremberg Ring.
Oh.
And Mark Alex was taking the piss out of me, saying that there was like Nazis hanging on the side of the track.
Or from the fences.
Nice. Yes, the Nuremberg Ring and Nuremberg Trials. It all happened at the same time. Nicole, real quickly, who's in the shout or in the chat for
in the chat?
The chat. Who's in the chat?
They're all in the shitter. We have PG Tips, Parsnip Nose 3000.
I cannot hear him. Can't hear him at all.
You.
Can you not? You lucky sod.
Step J, myself and Chris, which means you guys need to start playing with us. Oh, that sounded bad.
That did sound bad.
The Taff Man, Teflon 12.
Who submitted some more trivia, by the way, just in case you thought you were escaping.
No,
yes.
I wasn't escaping. He's already threatened me. So
hopefully in a nice way. I don't want to have to, drop the hammer on somebody.
No, I already know I'm pretty well screwed. It's going to be like all Nintendo questions or something. And then also Hardly Dan's in there talking about his computer cyborg child thing that he had. I don't know. Don't ask me.
He's just trying to bring the PC love to the chat at least, or the shat, depending on how you want to look at that.
I kind of like the shat.
Yes. Well, just stick with it. They're in the shat.
They're in the shat.
That's a thing. The shat.
Yes, we now have the shat. Oh, and I had accidentally hit a key, so it looks like I'm trying to type, and I'm not.
All right.
So those are our beautiful people, and we welcome them and we thank them for joining with us. Yeah, okay, Jason, bite me.
Yes.
I always make things sound bad, he says.
Speaking of sounding bad, Mr. Primrose, what games have you played of late?
I have actually got back into doing some gaming.
That's the rumor I had heard.
Yeah, I've done a fair bit of gaming and on different platforms to normal. I've got a Vita for Christmas. I've got a Vita.
No, say really?
Yeah.
You were pining for a Vita for quite a while. You were saying that was the device you wanted.
Yeah, I got my wish, and it's good. I've got some tower defense action going on, Greg, at the minute.
What kind of tower defense action?
Horizon.
Final Horizon.
Yeah, Final Horizon. It's different to the old classic defense grid.
So you're trying to say it's no defense grid?
It's not, but it's something different. It's different format. It's because they're playing really well to the actual the console itself, because you got they've laid it out in a lot smaller playground and it works well because you still get all of your fixtures and fittings, as it were, that you're putting down. They're all still a nice sort of size for playing and stuff.
By the way, as soon as you said it that way, I immediately thought of building up a bathtub or something, fixtures and fittings.
You can say it like that. That's me. That's me, Greg. Yeah, putting all my stupid sayings in and all that lot. But yeah, that's feeding my need for a tower defense. When I'm sat there on the old sofa.
Right.
Standout for me, and fair play to Sony for sticking this out. I don't know what it plays like on the PS4, but Resogun is class. Absolute class.
Everything we've ever heard about Resogun, and in fact those that have played it and reported back on it, it was one of the best games for launch.
But everybody that was talking about it as well, when it first came out, they were referencing Defender. Right, I'll say this. Mm-hmm. I'm an old lad, right? I played Defender in the arcade, and Defender, in my eyes, was pants. I used to love Scramble a lot better.
I like Defender.
This kicks Defender's ass into touch big time.
Wait, I have to stop you for a second. What is Scramble?
Yes. Scramble?
Yes.
Jeez, man, you best get Googling. Scramble, Defender. All right, you want the Holy Trinity? Okay, the Holy Trinity of arcade games when they first started: Scramble, Defender, Space Invaders. That's it. And if anybody's in the chat, can you back me up here? Are you old enough? Come on, Parsnip, you're old enough.
Wait, Scramble.
Get some type.
Yeah, you would know Scramble if you looked at it.
Oh, yeah. It's a side-scrolling.
There you go.
Yeah, I got it. I pulled it up.
Yeah.
All right. I did not know the name of that game. I did not really play that.
Scramble was you actually got a bomb and not just something that you could shoot forward. Anyway, but back on the grid. As far as Resogun's concerned, brilliant. Love it. The leveling in it is wicked. I've been told somebody's been piping up on Twitter co-op with me, and I need get in touch, guy, because I've done the friends request. I'm waiting for you to come back to me. Just give me a time. Do it via Twitter, and we'll sort it.
It almost feels like some kind of crazy singles hookup.
The next
reach out to me on Craigslist and I'm free.
The next thing, Greg, on the Vita is you're doing, because you remember when you did the older gaming for charity?
Yes.
Yeah. When you did that, I was watching you play golf, and you keep talking about it every week when I'm listening to the podcast. You're talking about the golf tournaments that you do, mechanics and stuff.
Yep.
So I was like, I'm going to get me some golf. And what was it? Everybody's Golf. I got that on the Vita as well. Cracking.
Good game, that.
It's a bit Japanese there, but the good thing is, what I always found with golfing games, especially when you're doing Tiger Woods, you're getting the same courses every year, aren't you? More or less the same. You're playing the same courses. Totally new there, because they're all Japanese courses. You don't get any Japanese courses on Tiger Woods. Wicked. Loving that as well. Great stuff.
All right.
and then I'm not going to talk about it because I talked about it enough on the podcast before. But revelation to me, I've started again Fez, and you know how much I love Fez. But I was just playing the game for the platforming when I was playing it before.
Right.
But now I've started looking into the old QR codes and the secret language and stuff in it.
Oh god.
And I'm doing what all the nerds were doing on Giant Bomb and stuff, writing stuff down. It's brilliant.
So you're a nerd.
Yeah,
Nicole, we are all in some fashion or another nerds.
No, not us.
No. Video game podcast. That's not nerdy at all.
Nope, not at all.
Totally mainstream.
That's right.
Anything else, Rich?
I've got more to run down on the Vita, but I'm going to keep it quick because obviously other people want to talk. All of the gaming podcasts, the mainline ones, I heard a lot of squealing going on about this Luftrausers game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I played that on the PS3.
Yes.
I played that on the PS3, right? And I like my old school arcade games. We've just been talking about scrambling stuff. Luftrausers is shite. Absolute shite. Right?
Wow.
I played it on the PS3. The controls are shite. It is the music. They was talking about giving it an award for music on Giant Bomb. What the fuck? They're talking bollocks. It's crap. And I got it on the Vita as well. Tried it on that.
Yeah,
Still crap.
I will say, Rich, listening to Giant Bomb this year and their Game of the Year deliberations, I felt they were deliberately trying to go indie and recognize more indies, and they were doing their best to stay away from mainstream a lot.
Yeah, but the thing that the stuff that they were sticking in AAA wise was very debatable.
Yeah, I know. I hear you.
Yeah.
That's why we should just listen to ourselves.
Yeah. I'll leave you with a standout one that I've just started playing. Oh look, got an Ermin.
Richard
Kevin Knight will be
Primrose,
impressed. Is he still
standout.
listening? Yeah.
Yes.
The Swapper.
The Swapper.
That's just come out for free, and I'm loving that. The gameplay mechanics are really good, and
Is that just
the idea
PS3?
that
Is that just PS3 or is it? Do they have a PS4
I believe
version?
it's come out. It's come out. I've only played it on the Vita, but I think it may be on the PS4 as well. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it, because I'm still back in the old ages and stuff. But yeah, I love the mechanics of that. The fact that you're cloning yourself to get yourself about and platforming and stuff. It reminds me of almost like a 2D type Portal thing with different mechanics. But yeah, it's playing really well.
Okay.
Right, let's go on to the big boxes. Big boxes on the PS3. I got Call of Duty. Chris was just mentioning it earlier. A lot of people
like a pro.
Yeah,
like a pro. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, I'm assuming.
Yeah, new one. Yeah.
I didn't know you just said Call of Duty. It could have been Modern Warfare 2 for all I know.
There's only a few COD games out.
Yeah, there's only a couple.
Yeah. So I've got Advanced Warfare, and a lot of people talking about it, and they're saying, yeah, they keep saying, and this is bugging me a lot, keep saying, yeah, it's the best Call of Duty I've played since Modern Warfare. I think it's better than Modern Warfare. Multiplayer-wise, it's better. And also, the story in the campaign, I'm enjoying it better than the first Call of Duty. I think a lot of it, where people are saying that, is because it was the first of the modern fighting genre that had come out. But to me, it's got class all over. I'm loving it.
Yeah, the story is
Absolutely
really good.
Loving it.
I would say I like it as much as the first Modern Warfare storyline. I love the first Modern Warfare storyline, and I think largely because it felt fresh. It was that first time they really did the action-packed movie-esque, roller coaster ride, by the seat of your pants game for the single-player side of it, and it really resonated. It had those kind of crazy moments where you're just like, oh my god, I can't believe that just happened. And so for that standpoint, I think that game will always stand out as one of my favorite Call of Duties. But this one really is as good in terms of the single player story.
Yeah, Step J is saying Blops 1, and I'll concur with that because I thought that was better than 4 as well.
I had a hard time with the Blops games. I have to admit.
I like Blops.
Oh, I love the head fuckiness of Blops 1. Sorry for the swearing. It just had that.
We are an explicit podcast.
Oh, are we?
Yes.
Hello.
I mean, we do try to keep it a little, a little down, but the F-bombs will come out once in a while. We have that adult rating.
Yeah, like when I cuss at Greg.
Exactly. If we were in the bookstore, we would have to be back with the adult videos just because of our rating, not necessarily because of the content, but
Exactly. I liked the Blops though. Blops 1 and 2. I played a lot of 2, but I didn't like anything else. Just those.
I'm gonna give props as well to the new Call of Duty as well for doing something that I've always wanted in the multiplayer, where they actually change the map halfway through the game.
Oh yes. Yeah.
I mean, we spoke about this on the podcast probably about 3 years ago, but the idea that you can actually have, the whole idea of there being a chemical type leak and they're going to open a hatch and you have to move to a different area and play in a different zone.
Well,
that is a great idea and it works really well. And put that along with the added maneuverability, and you've got a nice recipe there, and it works out really well. And I've just been chugging along. I'm on the PS3, so nobody else is going to be playing with me. You know what it's like. It always was that way, and it's going to be even worse now. The fact that everybody's buying new consoles. But it's great. And I've had quite a few good sessions of I've always been a big one on Hardcore Search and Destroy, and it works really well with the maps that they've designed. So yeah, fair play. They've done a really good job on it.
Yeah, Chris, I think you had a comment you were throwing out there.
Yeah, that level that changes halfway through, that's the volcano level on the volcano map, isn't it? When you're next to the a volcano goes off and you have to go to a safe zone, which is about 8 yards from the volcano, further than where you were before.
Right.
Yeah, that was that. We're talking about the Blops one where they had the molten lava floating around.
The one in Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, I can remember that. Yeah,
I quite like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish they did it with all of the maps, though. That's one thing I did notice is only a few have that kind of change, and then there's a few of them that are pretty much static. They don't have really anything happening within them. So
yeah, but there's that nice. They've got the one that's it looks like a water type plant, but it's all solar panels on the roof and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that I don't know if it's you hit the halfway point and it's down to who's scoring them up. There's a solar array that you get control of, and you can start taking out enemy players with it. Just seems like there's a lot of different twists and stuff in the game on the multiplayer that's fresh.
Yeah.
And just adding new stuff to it. And I've not been playing it as much as I can do, but all the mechanics and stuff they're sticking in the multiplayer are all things that I've not come across before, and it just feels really fresh. Things like the sniper drones and things like that you've got for your death streaks, and you've got that functionality adding all the Blops games, which they opened up there, where you've got the class system where you can change it a lot more flexible than what you could do before, and you can do that again in this, but they've just put a bit more into the actual construction of the maps and stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how Call of Duty Advanced Warfare fares ultimately. Maybe once we're a full year into it, and see how its yearly sales compare up to previous iterations. My gut tells me it's not necessarily going to fare as kindly as all of the other games, and it's probably a shame because, it is a shame because I think this is probably one of the best ones they've made, and it's just going to suffer because it's coming at the tail end. I think I do think Call of Duty is going to start seeing decline. I think it's finally hitting. But that's a different conversation for a different day.
That's a talk call, that is. I tell you.
Yep.
I'm not so sure, Greg. I'm not so sure. You've got to look at the guys that are up against them. The Titanfalls.
Well, we'll find out.
On offer at £10 less than a year after it came out. There's nothing there that's going to beat it yet.
Destiny's been doing pretty dang good. There's definitely games.
Destiny, everybody I know plays it to death, but fucking hates it.
I know.
That's no endorsement for the game.
It's not an endorsement for the game, trust me, but it is pretty comical. It's you hear, I mean, even the professional podcasters, I can't stand it. There's so many problems with it, and yet, what did you play this week, Destiny? So it is pretty comical.
I don't hate it, and I play it.
True. There's definitely people out there that absolutely love it and are enjoying it. But
no, I didn't say I absolutely loved it. I
Okay.
said I don't hate it.
Familiar with it.
Yeah, you're just going to argue with me the whole way.
It's because I love you so much.
Yeah. All right. Rich, can we move on, or is there anything else you wanted to throw out there?
One more.
One
And
more.
God.
This thing is like crack to me. It is absolute, and I'm talking about killer design in the game.
If you
This
say
is a
Clash of
brilliant
Clans,
game.
I'm going to reach out through the internet and
No,
strangle
it's
you.
not.
Okay.
I
No,
love that
I
game.
know style.
Blizzard Software.
Oh.
I've barely touched the sides of Blizzard Software with anything. I've not played Warcraft. I've not played StarCraft. I've not played Diablo since, God, mid-90s. I had a dabble at it then.
Right.
So I am no Blizzard fanboy or aficionado.
It's coming.
Seeing the Game of the Year stuff, I went off and I started a free account on Hearthstone. And my God, I am hooked. But the reason I'm hooked as well, this is something completely different to what everybody else probably thinks about it. Years and years ago, when I was a kid at school, there was a board game and a card game, and it was me and about 3 of my mates. We used to play it through the night.
Fish?
Called Talisman, Games Workshop game. And it's like a card-based game. This game has just brought all of that straight back to me. It is exactly the same sort of thing. But
Yeah.
Blizzard, my God.
I'm afraid
how
to
do
touch
they
it, Rich.
do
I'm
what
afraid
they
to touch
do
it.
with
Aren't we
the
all?
way they do? It's not. They don't even do tutorials. But the design of this game, with the curve that they give you to learn the game, is sublime. It's probably the best game I've been able to just soak myself into and learn how to play. And I have tried card games before, the Magic games and stuff, and I've just tossed them away and thought, nah, shite that.
Yep.
But this game is brilliant.
It's what scares me about it.
Absolutely love it. I mean, I don't know how in depth you've talked about it previously. Has it been spoken about before?
No.
Say yes, and then I'll shut up.
Yes.
It has
Yes.
gotten some airplay through other master race types, like some crazy
Yeah.
Canadian we have on the podcast once in a while. But now that he's too busy curling,
That's not sport.
As a console gamer, it's just something I never thought I'd get into. It's sort of in comparison to when you introduced me to Defense Grid, Greg. It's something that I never thought I'd touch and like.
life-changing.
But it was really good, really good. And the whole idea of you gaining new packs and stuff, and getting these, it's all the stat-based stuff, and it's playing to the fact that I'm developing all this like for the Japanesey type turn-based stuff, which is bizarre for me. I'm like taking a step back from myself. It's like, pull the camera back. That's not me. But yeah, very good. Liking it.
Okay.
Hearthstone, get on it.
Hearthstone.
Trust me, you'll enjoy it. And it's free. I've not spent a penny yet as well, which is very surprising.
That is good. Apparently, there is a Kickstarter fund being started up by Parsnip Rich for you to get a Wii U.
No. No. Rich didn't know. No.
He just wants me to come on here and piss you lot off by talking about it.
That is
Pretty much.
Jason that wants you to get the damn Wii U. He
There's-
like pimps those things out.
That's how it starts.
I know.
It's
Oh, and Smurftastic just got in, so a big hello to Smurftastic.
cheers. All right. You guys are all in luck. There's no news quiz this week. There is news, but I was going into this week thinking there wasn't going to be a lot of news, so I wasn't really preparing a news quiz through the course of the week. And then I got to today and I started reviewing back through the news, and I was like, holy crap, there was a ton of news this past week. So I just listed out some of the headlines I could find and grab, and we'll go back through them. The NPDs came out for the North American. I forgot what NPD even stands for. It's North America something. But anyway, basically the sales for December. To no one's surprise, it was really positive. Christmas has a way of selling things. So overall retail sales were up 1% year over year. Hardware sales were up 20%. Retail software sales were down 13%, but that actually is probably misleading because digital sales we know have been on the rise. So I have a feeling software sales are being now kind of undercut at retail by digital. So, and unfortunately, we don't get any digital information from the console makers. They don't really release that out. We do know that the Xbox One was the best-selling platform for December, so their price-cutting strategy continued to work, and we'll have some additional news on that because they did say it was only through the end of December, and then they were raising it back up to $400, which they did. We also know the PS4 and the Xbox One combined sold around 2.33 million units, which when we did a comparison of the first 14 months of the PS4 and Xbox One versus the Xbox 360 and the PS3, the Xbox One and the PS4 are basically up 65% over the other consoles, which is pretty dang impressive. And we the PS4 is definitely leading the charge on that in a big way. The Wii U had its best month ever. Yay, Nintendo. I said that with all kinds of sincerity. The top 10 games...
No, you didn't. And it got all quiet, too. Like, is he serious? Yay, Nintendo?
The top 10 games of December, in order of 10 to 1, we had FIFA 15 coming in at number 10, Destiny at number 9, Just Dance 2015, it will never go away, at number 8, Far Cry 4 at number 7, Minecraft sticking around at number 6, NBA 2K15 came in at number 5, Super Smash Bros. Came in at number 4, we had Madden NFL 15 at number 3, Grand Theft Auto 5 at number 2, and shockingly, or maybe not, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare took number 1 for December. So congrats to all of those games. They released out the annual top 10 games of 2014 as well, so I'm going to reference this because we also have the UK ones as well, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But at number 10, we had Call of Duty Ghosts, which was, kind of shocking that last year's Call of Duty came in at the number 10 spot for this year. FIFA 15 came in at number 9. Watch Dogs came in at number 8. NBA 2K15 at number 7. Super Smash Bros. At number 6. Minecraft sticking around at number 5. Grand Theft Auto 5 came in at number 4. Destiny came in at number 3. Madden NFL 15 at number 2. And Call of Duty Advanced Warfare was the number 1 game for North America in 2014. So, there you have it. Sales numbers.
Is it maybe because our sales are like that because we really didn't have a lot of choice? I'm just asking.
There could be, I mean, there were a lot of games that came out, but...
Okay, that was the least of the shit pile.
The least, there you go. That was the least of the shit pile. That's probably the... Yeah. Speaking of shit piles, Evolution Studios has revealed the Drive Club players will receive a free set of Japan DLC tracks as part of an update for later this month.
That was the best segue ever.
Yeah, you set that up perfectly for me. Thank you. All right. Well, the pack will include the Nakasendo Challenge, which basically is a lengthy point-to-point race featuring trackside cherry blossom trees and a traditional Japanese aesthetic elements. The track is one of several arriving this month in this month's update, and the collection of new cars, including the Chevrolet Corvette ZR1 Continental Edition, no less. And that will all be part of the deal for the Season Pass buyers. So there you go. More racing happening. That should be a good thing, right, Chris?
No.
Okay.
Not a good thing.
No.
Sorry. All right. 505 Games acquired Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons IP. I found this kind of interesting. It came out of nowhere. I didn't even know this was going to be up for sale by the brothers, but apparently Starbreeze announced that they have sold Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons to 505 Games for a deal of about $500,000. And Starbreeze basically said that the transaction represented the final transition to the digital strategy. Following its recent efforts to push sales through digital distribution channels, the deal includes full rights to the game and intellectual property. I don't know. This is one of those weird ones to me because it's like, well, what can you do with this game? It's already out. Are you going to make a sequel? I guess, but the game was kind of complete. I don't see how you could make a sequel. I mean, spoilers. One of the brothers died. You can't make a brothers game again. It's brother now. It's not brothers. Anyway.
No. Greg.
Yeah?
What if he has kids and they're twins?
Ooh.
Unless they're incestish, mate. It's not a brother.
Well done, Rich. Well done. All right. Forza 6 was announced. Everybody was wondering if there was going to be...
surprise.
I know, yeah. Not really shocking. Forza 6 announced at the Detroit Automotive Show. That was probably the biggest surprise is where it got announced. During an automotive show, there's a deal with Ford, obviously, because on the cover is the Ford GT. And we don't really know any other details on the game other than we know for sure it's going to have 3 cars in it. It will have the Ford GT, the Shelby GT350, and the F-150 Raptor. So there you go. Forza 6 featuring 3 cars, maybe a racetrack.
And maybe a racetrack.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Nuremberg Ring.
No. Nuremberg Ring, yes.
Bad. There's 3 cars is nearly an improvement on 5.
Let's hope the load times are improved. That's the one thing I really want to see improved for Forza 6. All right, moving on. Additional information was dropped on us. Microsoft had told us the sale of the Xbox One was going to stop at the end of December, and it was going to go back up for $400 starting in January 1. And in fact, it did. Actually, I think it was January 5th of odd dates, but it did. It went back up to $400, and then Microsoft said, "Wow, we sold a lot during November and December at $349. So, hey, let's be excited about that. So we're going to drop the price back down to $349 for a limited time, which probably will be forever."
They really want me to buy them.
Yeah, they do. So now starting January 16th today, as you listen to this podcast, you can go back out to the stores and or onto the Microsoft Store and buy an Xbox One at $349. Top selling UK games. So I found this list and I was like, hey, we'll give our UK friends some love.
Let me guess, it was FIFA. Just kidding.
No. Why would you even think that? I can't believe FIFA would not. Certainly no. At number 10,
they don't like that.
No. At number 10, we did have Assassin's Creed Unity. Managed to sneak into the top 10. Call of Duty Ghosts at number 9. And this, of course, is for the top-selling 2014 games, so all year long. Far Cry 4 at number 8. FIFA 14 at number 7.
No way.
Yep. Minecraft Xbox Edition at number 6. Watch Dogs at number 5. Destiny coming in at number 4. Grand Theft Auto 5 coming at number 3. Number 2 was Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. And to everybody's complete shock, the number 1 title of 2014 in the UK, FIFA 15.
No
way. My God.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Shocking.
Shit.
I'm putting that on Facebook. Yeah. Wow, that's a shocker. They're not going to believe that.
Tag me when you do.
No.
I'm just going to skip over all of that. All right. Hey, we've got some trivia. Aren't you excited? Jason Johnson, friend of the show, sent in some trivia. So, Chris, because you are the virgin on the show, we have to bring you in properly. You are going to get the first question. Mr. Primrose, you will take the second question. And Nicole, you know what happens at the end.
Yeah, I get screwed. I don't mean that physically.
You'll see what it's like.
All right. Well, here we go. Jason Johnson wrote in and said, "Hey, OC crew, I have for you today some special 90s video game trivia. I hope you enjoy the questions and are feeling especially nostalgic. Good luck." So, Chris, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm on the edge of my seat.
As you should be. Chris, the Sega Dreamcast was released in North America on September 9th, 1999. Which of these games was not a launch title? A. Soul Calibur, B. Shenmue, C. Sonic Adventure, or D. NFL 2K?
NFL 2K, I guess.
Wrong!
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Nicole, I'll pass this over to you. You now know one of the answers has been eliminated. So, which of these games was not a launch title? A. Soul Calibur.
Rich was second.
I'm saving Rich for specialness.
Oh, God.
Soul Calibur, Shenmue, or Sonic Adventure. Which of those was not a launch title?
Let's go with Shenmue or whatever.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, sir.
You are right! Good job, Nicole. Yes, Shenmue, not a launch title.
I had a Sega Dreamcast. I still do.
That is...
You're the person that bought it.
I am the person that bought it.
You really kept Sega alive.
I did. I was working on it. I still have it. You can still play on some people's... they set up things so you can still play certain games. It's funny.
You just made me think of it. I actually watched Atari Game Over, the documentary, just today. And for those that haven't watched it yet, it's actually a really good documentary. Not so much because I honestly could have cared less about that. I mean, it's a landfill. They found the game. Okay, who cares? But Atari Game Over is also a lot about the history of Atari, the company. And there's some just incredibly interesting backstory stuff that they throw in there that I never knew about. And quite honestly, it makes for a fascinating watch. So I highly recommend it. Again, not for the ET stuff, but really for the just finding out and getting a better understanding of what happened with Atari, the whole game collapse, the whole 9 yards. Anyway, all right, moving on. Rich, here we go. Are you ready?
Go for it.
What was the best-selling PC game of the year 1999? Was it A, SimCity 3000, B, Half-Life, C, Roller Coaster Tycoon, or D, StarCraft?
Ooh.
Best-selling PC Master Race game of 1999.
You expect me to have a clue on this? I've never played PC games.
Yay!
That's why it's perfect for you, Rich.
That's why you get the special.
1999.
Yes, 1999.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
SimCity 3000, Half-Life, Roller Coaster Tycoon, or StarCraft?
And this is biggest selling.
Best-selling PC game, yes. Best-selling floppy disk game.
Let's appeal to the Easter market then. I'll say StarCraft.
Say StarCraft.
Even if I don't even know if it was out that year.
All right. And Rich, you are wrong!
Yeah, I thought my man.
All right. Chris, we're coming back to you.
Bothered.
Yeah.
What are the options again?
Your options are SimCity 3000, Half-Life, or Roller Coaster Tycoon. Best PC game, best-selling PC game of the year 1999.
I'm going to go Half-Life.
All right. And you, sir, would be Wrong! Nicole, it's down to you. You have two options, 50-50. Can you do it? SimCity 3000 or Roller Coaster Tycoon? Which was the best-selling PC game of the year 1999?
I would have picked both of them. Because they both. We'll go with the roller coaster one. I remember a lot of people playing that.
Yeah, that's true.
And Nicole, you would be right. Good job, Nicole. You only had a 50-50 chance.
I know, right?
Did you flip the coin silently? Is that what happened?
No, actually, when you asked the question the first time, I was like, it has to be Roller Coaster Tycoon because everybody I know was on the PC playing that stupid game. So it was just a wild, fluky guess. And I'm good at wild, fluky guesses.
Okay. Well, speaking of wild, fluky guesses, Nicole, it's time
I
to
won't
name
get this
the
one
back
because
of the
it's
box.
Yeah.
Yes. Name the back of the box, Nicole. Here we go. Can you guess the game based off this description? The Millennium, a portal is... Sorry. Wow, this is a little oddly phrased, but okay, here we go. The Millennium, a portal is opened, the chain of time is broken. A young man is transported into the past, altering the course of history and the outcome of the future. He has to find his way home, but first he must travel to the outer edges of time to repair the world's chronology. On the way, he encounters strange friends and foes, utilizes incredible devices and vehicles, and penetrates and neutralizes the fortresses of the past, present, and future. A paradox has been created. If he does not restore the order of time, nothing will ever be the same. He is the one... he is the one... Again, this is a bad translation here. He is the one who will become a hero. He is Chrono. It read, he is the one will become a hero, which doesn't make any sense, but there you go.
Could be an import.
Could be.
It was probably... Oh, wait a minute. This is from Jason, isn't it?
Maybe.
Fucking Nintendo game. What are my choices?
You don't get a choice, Nicole. You just have to name the game.
Well, you said his name was Chrono, so something to do with Chrono.
You may or may not be onto something.
Fuck off. I don't know. Chrono's arse. That's as far as I'm going to guess. I don't know.
Pretty safe to say that would be wrong, Nicole. Mr. Primrose, do you have a guess on this?
Options?
There are no options.
There are no options.
You just have to name the game. It is the hardest question out of all the questions that Jason gives us, unless he gives us a Halo game, which he's never done.
Oh, can you read the question? Because I'm just in the middle of reading all of this stuff on Twitter. This is just staggering to me. I'm not used to this.
All right.
Yeah, go on then.
All right, here we go. This is the back of the box description, Rich. Here we go.
Oh, I like
Reading
these.
it again.
I like these.
Yes. The Millennium, a portal is opened. The chain of time is broken. A young man is transported into the past, altering the course of history and the outcome of the future. He has to find his way home, but first he must travel to the outer edges of time to repair the world's chronology. On the way, he encounters strange friends and foes, utilizes incredible devices and vehicles, and penetrates and neutralizes the fortresses of the past, present, and future. A paradox has been created. If he does not restore the order of time, nothing will ever be the same. He is the one who will become a hero. He is Chrono. Any guesses?
Is this one of them Japanese trilogy ones?
Mm-hmm.
I would just like to throw out there.
Chrono Trigger.
You would be right.
Hey, I got it half right. Kiss my butt.
Okay. I would just like to point out, anybody, the Chrono part was a giveaway. I almost left it out. But then I thought, you guys aren't going to know Nintendo games, so I left it in.
No, but you mentioned the Chronicles, and you said his name was Chrono. And knowing Japanese games, day usually, like Sonic, hello, Mario.
Yeah.
It was a logical leap.
It was. All right. That does it for that. Thank you, Mr. Jason Johnson, for sending those in. We love the trivia. Keep sending it. Keep coming with it. And anybody else who wants to send in trivia, we absolutely love it, and we would highly encourage you to email us trivia. It's real simple. Just send us an email, podcast@g4te.com, and just give us a question. Make sure you give us the answer, preferably multiple choice, because it makes it a little easier on some of the old folk here, like myself. I need multiple choices, and we'll read it on air. And then every once in a while, we try and do something nice for people that participate. So, that's out there. Speaking of out there, we have a speak pipe. I'm going to play it. I believe it should come through on the audio, and hopefully you guys will hear it as well. But I know Twitch should be able to hear it. If not, if you guys can't hear it in the show, I'll recap after it's done playing. But here we go. And I said here we go, and I didn't hit go.
Morning, guys. It's Rich. Just wanted to say that I've been looking at a lot more videos of No Man's Sky, reading some articles, and I'm very excited for the game. However, I am worried that it might be a bit boring after a while, especially if we don't really have any true objectives. What's your thoughts on it? I'm not getting onto the hype, although I think it will be really good. I think if they make a sequel, that one will probably be better, because it'll have all the things that were wrong with the first game. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. Cheers.
All right, so that was from Mr. Webster. He basically kind of said No Man's Sky. He wants to be excited about it, but he's not so sure about it. He's thinking it might be overhyped and potentially be a disappointment. I kind of totally agree. I think the potential for No Man's Sky to let down and disappoint is huge, because I think this game is being built up to be the be-all, end-all game of all time, and quite frankly, it hasn't shown a whole heck of a lot of varied gameplay, and I'm not sold. It's going to be this fantastic game that everybody thinks it's going to be. Anybody else on board with this, or do you think myself and Mr. Webster are crazy? Chris, thoughts?
I saw a bit of it on the German game show last year. I can't remember, just before the Xbox came out, the one, so it could be the year before, actually. It looked massive, but those games always tend to disappoint people, because they sort of expect the impossible, then all of a sudden they find out they're too limited in it.
Yeah.
Generic words there?
Yeah.
Moving on.
No, like I said, I love a lot of the premise. I love the what they're trying to put down and into this game. I just ultimately have this deep down feeling that it's going to be repetitive. It's not going to have a lot of varied gameplay, and ultimately it's going to feel like just a very generic kind of experience.
Yeah, I think so. Most of these massive games do tend to do that, don't they? They sort of, a huge map and stuff isn't really a substitute for good gameplay, though, is it? At the end of the day.
Or even a story. That's the other part of this that again, it's not really known, and some people would probably argue you don't need a story in a game like this. Personally, I want story. I need something to help drive me into why I'm playing this game, and that's probably why I don't do so well with Minecraft. I don't care about building a house unless there's a reason to build a house. And
I love Minecraft. It's great. You definitely give that another go, because didn't Dorian make you buy that?
He did make me buy it, that bastard.
I love Minecraft.
I know. I'm different. I'm weird. I get it.
Oh, you're different.
Oh, back off, Chicky Poo. Primrose.
Parsnip says bollocks.
He is bollocks, but what do you say, Primrose? I know.
Yeah.
Rich, any thoughts on No Man's Sky?
I think it's a bit worrying about the fact that everybody. You listen to somebody like Stu. He loves getting his hopes up about games on the podcast, but this is like on a mass scale where you've got like all these forums and everything where they're all getting hyped for a game, and you're right. You don't know what it is.
Yeah.
especially if you're sitting back and you're not playing games as much at the minute, and then you just watch what you can see of it. Don't seem as if the other one was the one that was supposed to be like Elite, where you're on the planet and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You can actually go down Star Citizen or whatever it is. Is that it?
Well, the Star Citizen.
The one that's in beta at the minute.
Yeah, Star Citizen.
Yeah, same sort of thing where there was all this hype that got driven by it. Oh, you're going to be able to go all over the galaxy, and I'm seeing it when I'm watching videos, and I'm like, I'm not impressed by it actually. But this is another thing. It's all about concepts, and you're not actually getting any idea of what it is yet. If Chris Matthews was on here, he'd be ripping this one to shreds. I'm telling you.
He might. He very well might be. Nicole, did you have any thoughts on this, or?
I don't think it's going to be necessarily a disappointment. It depends on what you're expecting, I guess. I mean, that's kind of a cop-out, but it really is dependent on what you're expecting.
Right.
I get that it's supposed to be infinite. I'm not, but, Destiny's promised that, and Minecraft says that they're, extremely large like that, and you can do all these millions of things. A lot more games are going that direction.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a possibility it may not disappoint as much as people think it will.
Yeah, true. I mean,
Saying.
Yeah, it absolutely could be Game of the Year. It could be everything they promised. I tend to be a skeptic on it, I guess. And
okay, I'm gonna make a Nintendo comment. God help me.
Do it. Come on.
I know. No, that was one of the things they had talked about with the new Zelda too, that you had all these infinite worlds and stuff. So that just furthers that whole, that's the direction we're going game-wise, is to have these infinite worlds.
Big open spaces and open worlds.
Yep.
That's the,
yep.
Yeah, that is definitely the buzzword, open world.
Yep.
All right, well, speaking of buzzwords, there's no segue for this. We're going to talk about predictions. So we covered last year's predictions, which was pretty comical, especially when we read Mr. Primrose, your comments from last year. But this year, of course, we have
all about them.
Yeah, you should have. They were horrible. But
they were funny.
They were very funny, Rich. Very funny. Especially the one about all of the companies coming together in one conglomerate and making like the ultimate console. But yeah, we've got 2015 in front of us. Pretty much nothing has yet been spoiled. It's a pristine field. Anything goes. So here we are. Predictions. So for the four of us, myself included, I forget about myself sometimes.
So do we. I mean, what?
Oh, bitch. We're going to walk through one prediction at a time. I've asked each of us to at least give one console prediction for each console maker, and then one PC prediction. Or if you just have 4 predictions, either way. But we'll start off with one, and then we'll go through each of us. And then I have everybody else's. So I'll also filter in, once we get through ours, I'll read off some of theirs as well. And, we'll just do this round robin thing. So, without further ado, I'll start it off with Nintendo. Some Nintendo love. They're going to fail. I'm just kidding. No, Nintendo will announce a new handheld that is designed to work and sync with the Wii U. So it's almost going to be like an accessory to the Wii U. They're not giving up on the Wii U. They're going to create a handheld that will work in conjunction with it and truly make the Wii U something somebody would want to buy.
I still won't buy that piece of shit.
Isn't that the controller?
Shh. Don't spoil it, Chris. Don't spoil it. Damn you, Chris. Damn you. All right, Chris, what is your first prediction?
My prediction? It's more of an Xbox Forza-related one, strangely enough.
That's okay.
Forza 6, I reckon it's going to have weather. Whether it's dynamic or not, I don't know. I reckon there could also be a bit of space for a bit of off-road racing in it as well, possibly. Looking at what they've done with the Storm Island add-on for Forza Horizon. And possibly an October this year release date, maybe October 16th, as it seems to be that week normally when Forza Motorsport games tend to come out.
Okay. All right, that's a solid prediction. Let's go to the not so solid spectrum, Mr. Primrose. Give us your first prediction.
Right. I'm gonna make a software company announcement. This one will be regarding Ubisoft.
Okay.
They will announce in 2015 that any future games will not contain any towers. They're going to go in a new direction. Any open world game, driving game, or whatever, will now contain tunnels. Tunnels with nice mediocre puzzles which you have to get your way through to unlock new portions of a map. That's my revelationary prediction for 2015 for Ubisoft.
I love it. Okay, perfect. I'm recording yours, Rich, because you didn't send me yours, by the way. Thank you for not doing that.
Okay.
But I'm recording yours. I'm typing them in, so we have a record, so we'll be able to revisit this in the future.
Okay.
Nicole, how about your first prediction?
You really want the first one?
I do want that first one.
I said that I won't wear my Gears of War shirt this year and post a foolish picture again. That's my first prediction.
And that also would qualify as sound advice, Nicole.
I know, right? I didn't realize.
Yes.
Next time we'll just take the picture of just the shirt. I won't be wearing it.
Fair enough. But let's go ahead and I'll have you do your serious ones, or maybe more serious gaming-related ones, not stretched-out COG ones.
Yes. This is more of me making fun too. Dungeons and Dragons will make a comeback.
Hey, I think that's actually a legitimate prediction.
Really?
Yes, because Neverwinter Nights is going into beta in the coming months on the Xbox One. They're going to be releasing it. It's MMO and it's Dungeons and Dragons based. So maybe, just maybe, Nicole, that prediction is going to be something.
That would be flippin' hilarious on my end.
I think that would be fantastic. Not so fantastic is this guy Fraser Moores. He's a Canadian outlaw, curler by night, and
my hair's curled. It's really pretty. Probably prettier than his.
He has no hair.
I know.
Fraser did send in some predictions. So his first prediction we'll go with. He says the Xbox One will announce a smaller form factor X-Bone. They won't incorporate the power transformer into the unit, so it will still be crappy, and I will buy it. So there you go. He says they'll still have the power brick, but it'll be a Xbox slimmer. Mr. Webster threw out his first prediction, which is a PC related. Mr. Webster said, Fallout 4 announcement. Done. Fact. So I think that has some possibility. And Mr. Mark Wright, his first prediction, we'll do PlayStation prediction here. He said the Order 1886 is the biggest exclusive selling game of 2015. I'm just going to let that hang in the air for a moment. Robin Tate also sent in a prediction. His prediction for Nintendo, Reggie will announce that he is stepping down, leaving his role as the American CEO for Nintendo, and they will be on the show floor and make a stage presentation at E3. A Wii U with a 250 gigabyte, 500/gigabyte hard drive in a selection of funky colors will be made available, and Splatoon, although fun, will be a commercial flop. So Robin did send in quite a few predictions, so I'm just kind of lumping them all there together for Nintendo. I could see the whole Splatoon thing happening, as well as pretty much everything on there, with the exception of Reggie. I don't think he's going anywhere. But solid nonetheless. And I think that means we're back to our predictions, so I will throw out my next round, which will be Sony. Sony will, again, not show The Last Guardian at E3 or Gamescom, but they will continue to mention it's still in development over the course of the year. So no footage, but hey, we're still making it. Chris, what about you? What's your next prediction?
It's another Sony one, and it's another racing one because that's pretty much what I do. I reckon this year we're going to have an announcement for GT7. It'll be the first of many, many release dates, all of which about 7 years earlier than the game actually makes any sort of appearance to the public. Will probably be what they'll get up to this year. Other stuff, maybe. I don't know. I don't know many other games than that. I just used to be racing ones, and that's what I reckon will happen on the racing front this year, because they've not got a racing game on the PS4 yet, have they?
You're just baiting people, aren't you?
No, lucky.
All right. Mr. Primrose, what is your next prediction?
Can I go non-Sony?
You can do whatever you want.
Okay. This next one, Indie Game Smash for 2015. Perfume Please. Right? This game is based around a toilet attendant who basically sells perfume and aftershave in the gents' toilet, and also sells like chewing gum. Yeah? So, just like Papers, Please, where you've got to stop people getting through passport control and so on,
right?
You will get, every now and again, hen parties trying to get into the men's toilet. And they might pretend that they're men or sneak behind men's shoulders and stuff like that and creep in. And then the other aspect of the game as well will be to stop gents leaving the toilets with their flies down still. Yeah? It's good, this. It's not in black and white either. It's not like Papers, Please. It's not like any sepia effect or like, it's full colour, high definition. Telltale may get involved in this. Could be multiple choice. There could be one night stands and stuff going off in the toilets, and you have to stop them from going on. Yeah? So that's Indie Game Smash of the year 2015. Perfume Please.
I hope a developer's listening to this, because that actually could be a brilliant game.
Yeah.
Hey, nobody thought you could do weird things with goats.
Exactly.
Oh, you can. You can.
And you can, exactly.
You definitely can.
I think they were doing weird things with goats far before that game came out. Just for the record.
Was there goats in that toilet, was there?
There might have been. Nicole, what is your prediction, Nicole?
Side quest.
No side quests. My other one was that they will announce a remastered collection of Gears of War 1 through 3 with access to the alpha or beta, depending on how far they have gone in development of Gears of War 4.
That's solid. I think that's a solid one. I mean, we've already heard some rumblings that, and people have been clamoring for a Gears remaster on the next gen, so I think that could be pretty highly likely.
And that's just my wishful thinking coming out as a guess. A prediction.
Also true. All right, getting back to our crazy Canadian. Wow. Speaking of the devil, No Man's Sky will not live up to any of the hype whatsoever. Thousands of gamers will once again be guilty of buying into the hype. Anyone who pre-orders it should be shot for believing in the purple dinosaur nonsense. Everyone is jizzing over millions of procedurally generated worlds, yet that is hardly practical, is it? Because you would never encounter anyone else. Yeah, but it's all about exploring and discovering. Wow, that sounds like fun to me. Kill me now. Fraser Moores.
Fraser used the word jizzing?
He did. He did. That was his words, not mine.
Oh my God.
All right. Let's see here. Mr. Webster came in with Xbox. New Rare game announced and release. Not a new IP, but like a Banjo or Conquer game. So basically a reboot or a remastering of an older IP. So nothing new from Rare, just an old game. And we also had from Mr. Mark Wright. Going Xbox-wise, he said, a Gears of War next-gen collection is announced, and both Nicole and Gamer Girl faint at the news. Strong possibilities there.
Yep, I'm going to go with that.
Robin chimed in with his Sony predictions. We won't hear a peep this year of any substance about Morpheus or Vita. In a continuation of the pissing contest, a demo in full 4K will be shown running on a PS4 this year. And then he said Last Guardian with a question mark. The Order 1886 won't live up to the hype and hope it'll just be okay. And Uncharted 4 will introduce a co-op mode, not for the main game, but custom levels where the second player is Drake's brother. Before the end of the year, the PS4 will have a price drop to around $330, and I'm assuming he meant pounds, not dollars. So there you go. Sony predictions from Rob. And I think that means we are coming full circle back. So my next prediction, Microsoft will announce a bundle for Tomb Raider that will include a new game and the new game and the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, and it'll be for the holidays this year. So basically the same thing they did with Assassin's Creed Unity, they're going to do with Tomb Raider, and that'll be for the holiday time frame. I would have said they would drop the price on it too, but they've already done that.
That's a smart guess.
I'd like to think it is. We'll see, I guess. Chris, what is your next prediction?
It's going to be a Nintendo one.
Hold the fort. Go ahead. We're ready.
Yeah, like that. I imagine by now we've had at least 9.5, 10 minutes since the last DS came out with some sort of new screen or something on it. So I'm going to imagine there'll be a new DS this year. Maybe linked to the Wii U, like earlier maybe. They could call it the Wii U controller. Who knows? I really have no idea. I've got Nintendo Wii and a Wii Fit, and they're pretty much propping up the side of the bookshelf there and laid next to the DVD player with dust on. I don't like Nintendo. It was a free gift.
I was just going to say, then why did you... No, it all makes sense.
No.
Yeah,
I played Zelda. That was about it.
Okay. All right. So now we have predictions from Mr. Primrose again.
Is this the last one?
Well, I did ask for 4, so you have 2 more.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good, because I've got another one after this one.
Brilliant.
Sony's going to announce a new handheld. Because they can't sell the tellies, they're going to put curved technology into a handheld. So, for no apparent reason, you can hold a handheld console and you have to stick your face right into it because there's no way you can actually watch the thing properly unless you've got yourself dead center in front of it. So it's sort of like a poor man's Oculus Rift. So you've got this curved handheld, let's call it the PS Squiffy, and that curved handheld console is curved technology for a handheld.
Okay.
2015.
2015, the year of the curved handheld. I have to say, the whole curved screen thing, I don't get it at all. Why would I want a TV that is going to make my viewing angles worse?
Nor me. I actually went into John Lewis last week when somebody was trying to sell one and walked behind the guy while he was trying to talk somebody into buying it and saying, stupid design decision ever. My wife pulled me away.
All right, Nicole, what about your next prediction, please?
I'm going to get some PC hate here.
Uh-oh.
That the Steam machines will continue to remain in development, with quotes, for a probable release in 2016 with little or no fanfare.
Now, in fairness, some Steam quote-unquote machines have released, but are you talking about Steam ones with the actual Linux-based OS built in?
The
whole
finished
shebang?
product.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
No finished product.
Gotcha. All right. Okay. PC Master Race. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck off. Them, not you. Just kidding.
All
Dan's
right.
going to be shooting me a nasty message here in a second. Oh, yeah. I already got the eyeballs in chat.
Fraser Moores, again, the lovely Canadian that he is, said Minecraft is coming to the Wii U and the 3DS, as well as a season pass for the game across all consoles and more games using the Minecraft IP. It's 50-50 whether my children will allow me to escape the impending wallet apocalypse this will bring. Yeah, I could see that happening. Mr. Webster said Sony will have a new handheld device to be announced this year, possibly like a Vita 2. We also had Mr. Mark Wright chiming in. Nintendo, for Nintendo, this is pretty good. Fisher Price buys them out, and they carry on being kids' toys as normal. He said, commence the hate mail now. And we also had Mr. Robin Tate chiming in with Microsoft this time. He said the gap to Sony will continue to close throughout the year. Gears of War 4 will be shown in all its glory at E3. Quantum Break will receive praise for the concept, but be over-ambitious in execution. In other words, a 68 on Metacritic. And Rare will show a new original game at E3, possibly quite odd. So there, he says they're going to have something new, and Mr. Webster is saying it's going to be something old. All right, it comes to our final round of our predictions. Sorry.
Predictions.
Yes.
Easy for you to say.
Apparently not. All right. My prediction, Windows 10 is going to allow you to stream certain, in quotes, Xbox One games to PC via a browser window. An Xbox Live Gold subscription will be required. So this prediction, by the way, will be either met or it will be failed within probably 5 days. The 21st, they're doing their big Windows 10 event. That's when I expect something like this to be announced. So we'll know how well I fared on that front. Chris, what about you? Last prediction, please.
PC prediction. Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
I don't know anything about PC other than I'm not PC.
I wouldn't have known anything because your response to me. I will read this out for our audience, by the way.
Please do.
PC, I couldn't really give two shits about. Perhaps maybe a new mouse. God knows, buddy. I just race.
That's pretty much it. Maybe some new keyboard with Klingon on it. I don't know. I've no idea at all what's good or what's not good PC wise.
Being a racer. How about a prediction on Project Cars? Is it as big and great as everybody is hoping, or is it fail miserably?
I think it'll be good for the racers, but I don't think it'll be as accessible as Forza, if I'm honest. Forza's got a lot of smart little features that are good to bring up people who are not necessarily into racing games that much, or even the younger people. They've got a lot of assists and stuff, and I don't see Project Cars having that, or not least as enjoyable as Forza's version is, although I'm still very much looking forward to Project Cars. Okay.
So, regarded within the racing community, but a fail kind of commercially.
Maybe. I hope not, but maybe.
Okay. All right, we have you on record, Chris. Thanks.
Okay.
Mr. Primrose, please give me your last and final prediction.
Right, I've got a PC prediction, but I've got another one as well. But I don't know. Can I do both?
I'll let you do both. Give me one now,
okay.
And we'll circle back to you for the last one.
I'll keep it quick. Right, okay. Gabe Newell is going to announce, right, a bundle, right, whereby you can get an all-in-one box that's like a console, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And as part of the package, you will get Half-Life 3, right? But the only way you can get this bundle is you have to sign a contract. And the contract is that for the next 10 years, you are contracted to produce 10,000 hats for Valve, which are available for sale. That's my PC prediction. And my last one. This is my last one. This is a UK-based one. It's to do with the fact that Eurogamer, the conference, has moved to Birmingham.
Okay.
Right. So this one, it's all around our old friend Mike Chin.
Okay.
Well, so Mike Chin's buying a house. Okay.
Okay.
And he lives near Birmingham. So my prediction is that Christopher MJW from Boss Wave Podcast is going to have to hitchhike his way down to Birmingham. And on his way, he's going to find a group of New Age travelers with a big sound system. And having spent a day at the Eurogame conference, he's going to drag all the New Age travelers back to Mike Chin's house and set up the sound system and absolutely wreck his house. And Stuart Fowler's just going to be there complaining all night that he can't get any sleep. That's my prediction for 2015.
So can I do a little bit of recapping real quickly here, because that was an awful lot to take in and I wasn't able to type fast enough. So what I have here is Chris MJW. You made reference to traveling down something or other, but I'm just going to say is going to drag a bunch of hipsters from Eurogamer into Mike Chin's house.
Yep.
Okay.
With a sound system, they're going to wreck the house. Stuart Fowler's going to be moaning because, he's getting on a bit, like me, wants his sleep, and it's not going to happen.
Okay. Wreck house and Fowler pissy.
Yeah. Very pissy.
All right.
Pissy. Can you put the pissy in caps ready for when you read it out next year?
Pissy. Capitalize.
Yeah.
Yes. Got it. Done.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Okay. Cool.
All right, just to recap again,
What's that?
Chris MJW will drag a bunch of hipsters from Eurogamer into Mike Chin with the sound system and wreck stuff. And Stuart Fowler is pissy. Is that about? Okay.
That's done. And Duke will laugh on the following podcast.
And Duke loves it, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, done. All right, Nicole, what about you? Can you give me your last prediction?
My last prediction is that this year will make 2014 pale in comparison to the amount of remastered games announced and or produced on the new consoles.
I hope that doesn't come true. I'm really tired of hearing remastered.
Oh my God, it was just crazy last year, but I honestly think this year might be worse.
It might
because there's shit all for them to put out there. They have nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing in the hopper.
Nothing in the hopper. Speaking of nothing in the hopper, Fraser Moores didn't give us a fourth prediction. Thanks a lot, jerk.
He's too busy curling his
hair. I know. I love Fraser. He knows it. Richard Webster did give us a fourth prediction. He said Nintendo will announce a new console to be released in 2016, hardware almost matching the Xbox One and PS4. The new main series Mario and Metroid titles for launch. I think they just had a Nintendo Direct, didn't they, where they announced, maybe it was a remake of Super Smash Bros. 2 coming to the Wii U.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, yeah, and Metroidvania Trilogy or something. I don't know. All right, fair enough. There you go. New hardware, almost as good, and coming with Mario and Metroid for launch. It could happen. It could. We had a prediction from Mr. Mark Wright. PC, the master race will assimilate all humans. Resistance is futile. That probably just made everybody in chat happy. Speaking of making everybody in chat happy, Mr. Robin Tate had a PC prediction. Valve will unveil a consumer-ready version of their OS along with a slew of Steam machines ready for purchase this year. To give this some real punching power, they'll announce that at least two of these games, Half-Life 3 and they'll announce at least two of these games, Half-Life 3, Portal 3, and Left 4 Dead 3, will be available exclusively on the Steam OS at launch. And the biggest shock for the general public will be that they have learnt the word 3. That's a joke for Valve fans. No Man's Sky, sadly, won't live up to the hype. And he also had a few other multi-platform predictions that we'll throw in at the tail end of this. Robin predicts that Battlefield Hardline will be a flop. Fairly or not, it will feel like nothing more than DLC for Battlefield 4. And that has definitely been much of the criticism of it so far. Tom Clancy's The Division, I forgot about that game, will have its graphics and gameplay severely nerfed on release. Shocking from Ubisoft. Very similar to what happened with Watch Dogs. He also predicts that Mad Max will flop. Just another movie tie-in, cash-in grab. And finally, Star Wars Battlefront will be one of the highest-selling games of all time. Yeah. I don't know about that. We'll find out. But yeah, so that's the predictions. Done. It's quite a bit. And we have it all documented, including Chris MJW destroying Mike Chin's house. Yeah.
Wait and see. Or maybe I framed him.
I don't know, but I think it's kind of like you're because you're saying it now, Rich. It's going to come true.
Just waiting for the digger sound in the background.
Yep. All right. Well, let's start wrapping things up. Nicole, real quickly, we have some upcoming new releases. They've been highlighted in a very lovely color on our show notes. So if you would be so kind, let's go through those real fast.
Real fast. Evolve Open Beta Xbox One, January 15th. Blackbird 2 PC, January 20th. Citizens of Earth, PS4, Wii U, Vita, 3DS, PC on January 20th. Gunman Clive 2, 3DS, January 20th. Resident Evil Remastered, Xbox One, 360, PS4, PS3, and PC on January 20th. Oh, fuck. And Saints Row 4 Reelected.
I.e. remastered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Is that supposed to be Git?
GAT. No.
It is really GAT.
Yeah.
GAT
Yeah,
out of Hell expansion.
Yep.
Okay. Xbox One, 360, PS4, PS3, PC on January 20th.
Yes. So you've got 2 games already in your pocket for that whole prediction, Nicole. Oh, that's depressing. Speaking of things
I know,
that are
it's freaking January.
Yeah, I was going to say things not depressing. Chris, give a plug for the Track Mini Leagues. Let's talk about that real fast. Upcoming events. You guys are doing this pretty much all the time, so
yeah, we're running 2. We're running one monthly one starting on Monday. That goes on from January to October. It's like a GT league in R-Class cars, which people know on Forza. A lot of details will be on the track website. Long races over the year, and there's a mini league at the moment being hosted by Mini Dean on track, which is held on Thursdays at 9 o'clock GMT.
Okay.
Anyone welcome to join.
Awesome. I've heard good things about the mini league, so I can only imagine the GTR class also will be fun.
Yeah, it'll be good. We've got one lined up for G4T exclusively as well. Just got to get myself some time to do it. But
is that the kids' car one?
No, it's push bikes. It's going to be.
I would wreck one, by the way. I could wreck a push bike.
That's
I'm good
impressive.
like that.
You need to get that on YouTube. I need to see that.
All right. Clan Wars. God, I hate even giving this a moment in the sun, but Nicole, give us the Canadian cult update. Clan Wars, what is happening? Last we knew, you guys were going to battle with Isapakis, whatever their names are.
Yeah, whatever the hell their names were. We ended up losing 48 to 54 because some asshats didn't show up.
Was that your
for the war?
Was your fearless leader missing?
No.
Okay.
Fearless leader was there.
I thought he might have been curling at the time. I don't know.
No,
it's taken up all of his time these days.
No, actually, he's so hell-bent on us doing the wars on the weekends, I got to start the new war. He sent me a WhatsApp. Please start the new war. Tomorrow, I'll be in a meeting.
His quest for domination is becoming a little scary.
It's hilarious.
He's like a Canadian Hitler.
So, yes, we are now going up against Rage of Dragons.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of scary because if they've got a bunch of dragons.
Sounds like an 80s rock band.
Rage of Dragons.
That was good. That was really good.
All
right, we do have the cross-platform the golf club challenge happening, which is when you look on that was English, I promise. If you go onto the golf club game and look for the tournament new, I think it's XGen G4TE tournament, you can find it. Most importantly, make sure you either have myself, Murphy's Law, or Marcanix, or the Real Defoe on Steam and Marcanix on PS4. Sorry. Make sure they're on your friends list, and you can participate in our tournament. So we have results basically going on. We'll have a new tournament probably next week to let everybody play, because I had some latecomers friend me, and I didn't get them in on time, so I apologize, but you'll be in for the next round of tournament on the golf club. But for now, with Littlebrook Manor course, Marcanix came in. He had a -1. I had a -11 for the round of 18. And then there was basically a joint first place between Manny Calavera and Morty 1984 with a -19. It's crazy. Now, we do know that the Real Defoe shot a -12, but we don't give him credit for anything, so his score doesn't count. Anyway, so keep an ear out and maybe follow us on Twitter. We'll try and set up the next tournament round as we're getting more people involved on this. And if you haven't picked up the golf club and you have the ability to get it either on PC or one of the next-gen consoles, by all means do it. It is a really solid golf game. It's not a frilly golf game. There's not a lot of bells and whistles to it. It's just really solid, and quite honestly, it will bring the real frustrations of golf to life in the game. And maybe some extra frustrations. All right, victories achieved this week. So this is a little contest that we have running every quarter, where when you finish a game, you take a selfie, you send it out on Twitter to @g4te.com. You have to spell the dot. And within there, you let us know the game you just finished, and you throw in hashtag victory achieved, and you get entered into a contest where we pick a random winner through at the end of the quarter. And that winner will win $20 in either PSN, Xbox Live, or Steam Spacebucks. And you can just ask PG Tips 77. He won just this last time. So, without further ado, we have some victories achieved, and these crazy, I said Canadian, they're also crazy, by the way. UK dates, you guys do everything backwards to me, I don't know. But on the first January
it's the
10th.
10th of
I know.
January.
I know. I'm looking at that and I'm like, on the first. No, it's the 10th of January. I'm getting tired. Teflon 12 finished Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. We also saw on the 11th, Adamski 86 finished Wolfenstein: The New Order, or Wolfenstein: The New Order. Chinny 1985 finished Valiant Hearts: The Great War. Bongo the Sane finished Halo 2 from the Master Chief's Collection. Step J 1971 finished Valiant Hearts: The Great War. If you haven't noticed, I've given up on the dates thing. Nick Nitrous finished Infamous: First Light. We saw Marcanix finishing Far Cry 4. He binge played that thing, by the way.
Shit.
Yeah, Marcanix also finished The Wolf Among Us, Episode 5. And finally, Bongo the Sane finished Rayman Legends. So congratulations to all of you. And again, if you want to partake in this, get that selfie going when you finish the game, and just, include something in the background of the game, maybe the end credit screen, or if there's a trophy for completing the game, or the gamer score achievement for completing the game. Just have it in the background. Take the selfie with it over your shoulder if you want. But we really want to see your face. That's the most important thing. We like to include the community. Get some mugs to some names. All right. Closing notes. As you probably are well aware, we're streaming live on Twitch right now, so you can always listen in every Friday. We start right around 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern, and God knows what time on the UK side of the pond. I think it's 11 o'clock we start, Rich?
Yeah,
Chris?
11.
There you go. So if you are listening to us live over in the UK, why? But thank you. And it's real easy, though.
Great.
All you have to do is go live.
Gaming prime time, this is, mate. 11 o'clock.
Prime
Tell you.
time.
I'm getting on Forza in a minute.
Oh, my God. You young whippersnappers. Live.g4te.com. That will get you to our Twitch stream. You can also send us a speak pipe like Mr. Webster did. It's a lovely thing he did there. And that simply just type in sp.g4te.com, and that drops you into our speak pipe page, and you can leave us a nice little message that we can play on the show. Hopefully everybody heard. You can also email the show, podcast@g4te.com, like Jason Johnson did, and send us trivia, because we love trivia. And finally, you can always tweet us at OC_podcast, and we will happily respond back to you at some point or another, probably days later. And I suppose I begrudgingly should say we do have a Facebook page, even though I don't necessarily use Facebook all that much anymore. It does exist, and apparently a lot of people still do, and it's pretty popular. So, Facebook, it's fb.g4te.com. You're welcome, Parsnip Nose. And Nicole. Nicole, didn't we have a iTunes review?
Yes, we did. From Amherst89 on 11 January 2015. It said, the name says it all. The Overseas Connection, a brilliant get-together of great people from America and the UK. They really care about the gaming community and listen to them. News quizzes are a lot of fun to listen to with great laughs to be had. They also bring you up to speed on games being released every week and have fun community events for all to be a part of. Have a listen, have some fun, and get in the connection. And we got 5 stars from Amherst, so thank you very much.
5 stars, even though we give all that Nintendo hate. That's amazing.
I know. He must love us.
Thank you,
Must
Gary.
try harder.
We must try harder. And we do have occasionally a Canadian on here, when he's not too busy doing other things.
Curling his hair.
Yes, curling his hair.
Or trying to get nookie from the wife. I mean, what?
Whoa.
Secret's out, Fraser. Secret's out. All right, shout-outs. We're going to speed round this around. Nicole, is there a Fortress Craft giveaway? Am I reading that? Is that current, or is that something to be set up in the future?
No, I think that's the one that we were supposed to...
Mr. Webster, yes. Yes. So if you're listening to this now and you're wondering what I'm talking about, I honestly don't recall the specifics, but Mr. Webster threw out a question to everybody and wanted some responses, and then he said he was going to be giving away a Fortress Craft game. So basically, listen to last week's podcast, or listen to next week when I get yelled at by Rich and he gives me all the details again, and I'll put it up on the next show. In the meantime, start off the shout outs. Nicole, go.
JD, y'all, because this was extra fun. Chris, thank you so much for joining us. I know that you're virginal and all. Well, we took care of that. But we did appreciate you coming on and being here with us. And to everybody that chats with us in the Twitch chat and
Which chat?
Yes, the chat.
Yes.
So, Rich, give it a go.
Shout out to Fraser for polishing his rocks off on the ice. Don't know how you're dealing with the shrinkage, mate. It must be really hard, but well done. Gonna shout out Eric Piotrowski just for his foreword on the podcast he couldn't make over Christmas. Said a lot of things that hit home, and yes. I think we're all feeling him as podcasters, and it's great to be back with you guys. That's something that hit home there with that, liking that. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Chris for breaking his cherry. Good man. Don't worry, mate. It gets easier from here.
It's all good. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm all relaxed
Knock
now.
about with those dodgy tossers for a while. You'll be all right.
plenty of dodgy
and I want to shout out the other guys that are not here, Robin and Mark and Jay as well.
Shout out to them. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Long lost friends, Christopher Matthew, my man, still there on Facebook. Greg, if you knock about there,
he is. He actually he communicates every once in a while. Usually, he just wants information from me. He doesn't actually want to talk to me, but you know.
Good. That's the way it should be. That is Chris, straight to the point, practical. Yeah. And what else?
You tell us.
Not much else really. That's about it. I'm happy here, sitting at 1 o'clock in the morning, talking to you guys. It's good. Good laugh. Yeah. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. All right, I'm going to hand it over to Chris.
Thank you. Just a short mention or shout out to the boys at Track. Nearly a year old now. Been good racing with all you guys. It's Fez, Smurf, Dino, Target when he's actually online, not whinging about lag, Paul, and Dorian, of course. I can't forget Dorian.
Everybody forgets Dorian.
You try to, but yeah. he's always there, bless him.
Well, he can't hear you anymore, so it's not a big deal. I don't even know why he's in the Twitch chat. He can't even hear the podcast.
And I have to subtitle everything I'm saying for him. It's not working too well at the moment. I keep spelling things wrong. I think it's his son's birthday recently as well, so happy birthday to him, Oliver. And that's about it. I've got no one else that I'm saying hello to.
Okay.
Apart from you guys. Thanks for having me.
No, well, you know what, Chris? Thank you for coming onto the show. I was glad we were able to finally get you on the show. You've done a ton in the community around the racing stuff, so we definitely wanted to get you on and give you some airtime. Yeah. And, you know, I think we could see bringing you back around once in a while, you know.
I haven't offended anyone.
No, you didn't. You did all right.
Oh, crap. If you didn't offend anybody, get out of here.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Don't worry,
like to live my life.
Tell you, mate. Yeah. There's a lot more that can offend.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I know what I could have said, believe me.
Yeah. Rich, I want to shout you out because that moment when you were kind of having that reflective moment and talking about friends and everything, you sounded just like Peter Molyneux describing one of his games. It was a really weird moment, and I had to stop and pause for a second. I, of course, want to shout out everybody within the chat listening to the show live. We very much appreciate you guys coming on and taking time out of your day to listen to us as we speak in the moment. I also want to shout out just listeners in general. Listeners like TMG Cerberus 5, or as he probably meant it to be because he's elite, TMG Cerberus. He listens to the show. Actually, he's the one that said he liked the PC part last podcast. So
I like that. Actually, shout out to Rich Webster. Yeah. They put a lot of things in nice, easy to understand boxes, and I like that.
He's good like that. He is good like that.
Yeah,
there's more than a few that I've actually said that it was a great segment. So well done to Rich, but more importantly, thanks for listening, TMG. You know, I'm sorry it took me so long to see your friend request because you know, he missed the golf challenge. He said he specifically added me as a friend to get into the golf challenge, and of course I added him today. So oops, my bad. But yeah, I think that pretty much does it, you guys. Thanks again for listening. Thanks to you guys for being on the podcast, and we are done. We're out of here.
Cheers.